Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, it's your host, IFBB PRO Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic today. And as you read by the title, we're talking about body positivity. All right, so let's get this rolling on every other platform before we get the podcast recorded. Okay, we're live on TikTok, we're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook and Twitter. What the fuck is up, people? Hope you guys and girls are enjoying yourself. Hope you guys and girls are enjoying your day. Today, we're going to be talking about body positivity and what a myth it actually is. No, I'm not going to be ridiculing people that are positive towards themselves that have put the effort into it, right? That's something else. But we're going to be talking about the more, we'll say, popular, known form of body positivity. All right. So stick around, stay tuned. What's up, Zach? I see you, bro. Zach is back. Shout out to Zach. He's back after a month. Back after a month of literally not being in the gym. So shout out to Zach. Why can't I get this thing? I can't pin this comment, can I? Am I allowed to? Am I allowed to? Oh, okay. Instagram's working. Just glitched for a bit. Amelia, what's good? Hey, people, what's up? All right. So if you are new to this podcast, what I want to let you know is that we talk a little bit before and after the podcast recording. But again, if you have any ideas, if you have any comments or questions or things like that, as I go along the podcast recording, you are more than welcome to drop them in the comments, and I'll look at them after I'm done recording. But I want to chat with you guys and girls a little bit before we start the recording. Ben, what's good? What up, fool? What's happening? Jim was a mistake. Shoulder hurt today. Gonna continue not going for now. Again, man, take it easy. Take it slow. Like the arc has to pause. Every arc has to pause for now. Thought on many iPhone 14 Pro and new Pro. I don't own many iPhones. I've never been an iPhone guy. I got one iPhone, or I have an iPhone now. I have an iPhone 12, but I primarily use Androids because, in my opinion, they're better. But Apple's serve their purpose in a certain way, so I've got to have that too. Matter of fact, I'm streaming with 4 phones here. 3 of them are Android. One of them is in Apple. Is the iPhone 12. But anyway, let's get into today's topic. Let's talk about what we came to talk about. All right, that's body positivity and how I think it's actually a myth. Okay, so let's dive into this one here. I'm going to be beginning this podcast recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your returning champion, IFBB PRO Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. And today I decided to talk about the myth that is body positivity. All right. Also, before we dive into this one here today, I want to let you guys and girls know that we are at episode 92 for the Meathead on the Mic podcast. And on the 100th episode, I will be giving away $100 US to the person that shares this podcast out the most on whatever platform you're watching this on. If it's Twitter, if it's TikTok, if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, or if it's YouTube, share it out to a friend, share the value with them, and let me know by tagging me on whatever social media platform that you share this out on. And I'll be picking the winner on the 100th episode. And the challenge is 100 for 100. All right. So 100 for 100 for the 100th episode. I will be giving out $100 US. So share this out to a friend. Don't be stingy with this information. I do this for the people. All right. So let's dive into this one here today. Let's talk about it. We came here to talk about one thing and one thing only today. All right. Body positivity. Okay. So here are my thoughts on body positivity, or at least the more commonly known body positivity. I'm not going to ridicule people that are actually putting in their effort to, earning the right to becoming positive about their body. I'm talking about the people that are simply just delusional, the people that just sit there and again, you can love yourself the way you are. I'm not God, I'm not your parents. I'm not you. I can't tell you what to do with yourself and how you think about yourself. But one thing that I always, or at least that I'm seeing now more than ever in the last 3 to 4 is people that don't do anything really to be truly body positive. Like they say positive, but they're doing negative things to their body. Those are the people I'm sort of talking about in this episode. The people that eat like shit, don't train, don't do anything for their mental health, self-project everything, always complain, and just are negative all around that, claim to be body positive. And it's impossible to truly be body positive if you're doing negative shit with to and or from your body, with your body, right? So that's what today's topic is going to be related to. Okay, so in my opinion, body positivity shouldn't be a thing in the context of what I just said, right? The same reason why, so sort of like mind positivity isn't really a thing. It's not really a movement. or spiritual positivity. Yes, they're religions and they're religious people, but they're not really movements like the body positivity movement. All right, especially in that context. So, like, look, you don't have to be mean to someone just because they're overweight. We know that shit. All right, we learned that in Sandbox. No put downs. Keep your hands to yourself. Be a fucking nice person. Okay, don't just talk shit to people to talk shit. In fact, you don't have to be mean to anybody at all. Okay, people that talk down on or belittle others are simply projecting their negative views. We know that, especially in the case of body positivity, quote unquote. There's nothing really positive about today's version of body positivity, in my opinion. Let me explain. Okay, so I get that you want to be accepted for the way that you look. That's cool. We all want that shit. Everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to, feel loved and feel adoration and be honored by others. That's cool. It's a natural human thing to want. Okay, but when you tell yourself and force others to believe the lies that you tell yourself that make you think you're body positive, lies like being overweight is healthy, lies like fat people are generally attractive to most people, which is just utterly wrong. Most people don't like fat people in terms of their preferences for romance or relationships, or even, like, say, building a family. And I say most people because there are some people that have fetishes. There are some people that just honestly prefer fat people because they're fat themselves and they seek comfort in that, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's some people that like fat people in terms of uh dating wise, preference wise, right? But most people don't, simply because it's you are a reflection of the lifestyle that you live. And if you don't take care of your body, chances are you don't take care of your mind. And if you don't take care of those two things, what the fuck is there to say that you're actually going to take care of your partner? And it's almost like a subconscious thing that other people look at when they see a fat person. And it's not only fat people; it's like, drug addicts. Because, I mean, let's face it, fat people are just food addicts that don't go to the gym. Bodybuilders are food addicts that go to the gym, right? And we eat the right foods, but we're addicted nonetheless, right? But the positive outcome is the fact that we're actually eating, or our addiction serves us in a positive way. And I'm not saying that bodybuilders stand on this, like, moral high horse or anything like that, or athletes stand on, like, a virtuous high horse. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that people can look at you and they can generally, whether or not it's conscious or subconscious, they can sort of piece together if they want to spend time around that person as a friend or as a lover or as a partner or as a colleague, based off of the way that they treat themselves. And if you treat yourself like a piece of shit because you eat shit, you don't train, and you leave yourself, pretty much on the back burner all the time, chances are people aren't attracted to that. And it has very little to do with the size of the person, right? Like, you could still be fat and moderately attractive. I mean, like, have nice facial features, be symmetrical, even, we'll say thick, quote unquote, because some people like a lot of meat placed in the right places, right? But again, there are some signs that fat people on their physique that fat people have that show other people, or at least deter other people from wanting to take things to another level, or at least wanting to spend time with them, if that person isn't already in that position themselves, if they're not a fat person. All right, so again, they tell themselves lies. And one of the biggest lies that I hear, especially nowadays, is that fat people are generally attractive to most people. And you'll see this with, like, modeling agencies and stuff getting more plus size models, which I don't personally care. I don't read magazines and I don't follow modeling, but it's definitely putting out a false notion that body positivity includes self negativity and self neglect, and that you should be accepting of that. And also another lie, which is that the world should conform to and or promote obesity. The world should not conform to and or promote obesity, because it's not a good thing. It's unhealthy. The same way the world shouldn't conform to and or promote alcoholism, cannabis overuse, any caffeine overuse, anything, right? They do these things in the name of inclusion, by telling you being overweight is healthy, so we're including the plus size people. Fat people are generally attractive to most people, and the world should conform to and promote obesity in the name of inclusion, which is completely fucking ignorant. And it is a false sense of body positivity, because those are the most negative anchors of body positivity, if we're really being honest here, right? And guys and girls, you might get triggered. I understand that, but I'm not here to trigger you. I'm here to tell you my opinion, and I'm here to tell you also what I believe to be the truth, and what others, some others believe to be the truth. Again, doing those things, telling those lies to yourself and other people, is literally some of the most damaging things you could do, because it forces you to remove yourself of self accountability and self we'll say responsibility at that matter. Again, nobody should be rude to you based on how you look. There are some people that have been bullied for being in a wheelchair, and generally, most people aren't attracted to people in a wheelchair. That doesn't mean you're supposed to be mean to them. That doesn't mean you're talking shit about them because you state the fact that most people don't want to be with a disabled person. And I still think disabled people rock. I still think fat people rock. I have fat friends, and it's not me like saying like, oh, I'm not a racist. I've got black friends. It's not the same thing like that. It's different. What I'm saying is like, if you're a fucking asshole, you're an asshole to everybody. Not the way they look, how they live, if they're disabled or not, doesn't matter because if you're an asshole, you're just gonna be an asshole. But if you are like at least aware of what's going on, you can and this is something that I would do and that I do myself. You can have a person that has a fat friend and encourage them to lose weight for them to actually feel better about themselves. Or a disabled person really has nothing they can really do about their situation, but you can help them feel better about their situation by including them in events that they normally wouldn't want to go to because they feel like they're a hassle or they feel like too embarrassed to go out or like they're a burden on somebody. So like you can definitely do things to make people that are in a position that aren't generally, at least in my definition, body positive, feel better and more positive about themselves without having to create this sort of false notion that they have to be delusional and that the world is at fault because the world doesn't see them the way they should see themselves or the way that they think they see themselves. Because let's be honest with you, fat people see themselves as overweight, not healthy, right? But they're going to tell you that being overweight is healthy if you can see the irony in that shit, right? So again, nobody should be rude to anyone based off of how they look. I can't stress that enough. And that's pretty much my stake in the coffin to letting you know I'm not here to trigger you or to insult you or to diss you or anything like that. I'm simply speaking my opinions and letting you know what most people seem to, view as the objective truth. Okay. If someone called you, like, here's a good example, guys and girls. Here's a fucking wonderful example. All right. If someone called you a stupid hobo as an insult, but you're not a hobo and you like got a degree in university, so you're not actually stupid either, you're probably gonna laugh at that crappy insult because it's not gonna trigger you, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's just such a shitty roast. It makes no sense, right? If that's your position. However, if someone calls you a fat cow and you're even slightly overweight, like not even obese, like you just got a little chub on you, those words, I promise you, those words will cut deeper than an actual stab wound. Why? Because it'll trigger you. Now, let me ask you this. What's the difference between those two insults? You're a stupid hobo versus you're a fat cow. In my opinion, the difference is the context of reality. You can only get really emotionally hurt when the insults are kind of true. They don't even have to be 100% true. They just have to be leaning on the truth. And if the truth is that you have neglected yourself and you know that, if the truth is that you haven't been responsible with your nutrition or you haven't been training or anything like that, those insults will dig out and invoke those negative feelings that you have towards yourself. And that will cause you to project those negative feelings out to the other person and say, hey, you're fat phobic, or hey, whatever it is to make you feel warm inside about the fact that that insult actually fucking struck you in the nerve. Right. And again, as I said, nobody should be a dickhead. Nobody should be rude. Like, let's get that down here. We know that already. All right. But you have to take into account that you can only really get emotionally hurt by an insult when the insults are partially true or that you partially believe those insults, which means those insults only hurt you because you believe that deep down inside you're a fat cow. If someone called you a fat cow and you got offended or triggered, okay? And so instead of doing something about the way most you feel inside, I notice most people, especially now in this day and age, just like bottle up that negative emotion, that intrinsic desire that they have to want to actually fix the issue that's underlying, that's deep down inside. Instead of actually fixing it, what they do is they bottle it up and eventually project that anger out to other people, and they lash out in the name of quote unquote fat phobia or quote unquote fat shaming. And then this is the ironic part, they engage in the exact same fucking behavior that they don't like, the exact same behavior that they don't like, that triggered them, which temporarily calms the voices in their head that tell them, you know, being overweight is going to kill me sooner, or I feel ugly in my body and my clothes don't fucking fit right. I'm uncomfortable with who I am. And guys and girls, look, insulting people isn't cool. I'm with you on that. But if there's some truth to that insult, If you believe that insult even a little bit, any insult, someone can call you broke, right? And you may think you're broke even though you're not actually broke. And if there is some truth to that, then you know something is going on inside that the people outside have no control over. But when they say those things, it makes you think about the thoughts that are already in your head. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because if guys and girls, if there's some truth to an insult that someone's giving you, and you actually feel affected by it, there's a chance that you actually kind of believe it, right? And you're better off working on yourself instead of changing the minds of others, which those people are dickheads or they could be your enemies, right? Instead of trying to change those people's mind, you can control your own mind, you can control your own life, you can control your own destiny and create a reality for yourself where those words don't fucking hurt. And no, it doesn't mean just learning how to not give a fuck about what people say, because again, that's an art. And even I haven't mastered that. There's so many people that say, oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what people say about me. Yeah, right. Shut the fuck up. That's not true. You care. If it's true, you care. If you believe what they're saying and it's negative or insulting, that's the reason why you care, because you have those thoughts in your head anyway. You already bully yourself. So when someone comes out of your head and they say those things, it's like a self projection from someone else to you about your own self. It's like a negative reflection in the mirror. And if that's something that you experience, you better get to working on yourself instead of changing on the minds of other people, so you can be in control of your body. Again, nobody's going to accept you just because you ask for acceptance. Nobody's going to respect you just because you ask for respect. Those things are earned from other people, but more importantly, from yourself. You earn your own acceptance. You earn your own respect by doing things that make you want to accept yourself, and doing things that make you want to respect yourself, like going to the gym, like eating clean, like being responsible with your finances, like nurturing your relationships, nurturing your mental health. These things, right? Again, actions do the real talking, right? So stop trying to force feed this nonsense that it is someone else's responsibility for you to feel okay. It's not. Nobody gives a fuck about what you think. Human beings have always been judged by the cover, right? Metaphorically speaking. We've always been judged by the cover of the book. You're not special. Nobody is. Okay? The responsibility to make sure that you feel good and that insults don't actually hurt you because they dig out this intrinsic belief that you have, that responsibility is yours. It's not the responsibility of the other dickhead who wants to be a piece of shit and talk down on you. As a matter of fact, you might want to thank him, because it's like the most inadvert constructive criticism that you're going to get. And it's honest and it's true, because that person is just reflecting what they see with their eyes if their insults are accurate. And like, let's keep it a stack here, guys and girls, especially some of the ladies. At least weight is something you can change. Your body weight is something that you can change. Oh, I'm going to hear, oh, my hormones, this, my thyroid, that. You can still change it. It just requires a little bit more effort on your part because your hormones may be out of whack. And I 100%, I understand that. I empathize with that, but it's not impossible. It just requires more steps if you have a little more difficulty with it. Whether it's a food addiction that you actually struggle with, or it's, as I said, like genetics or hormones, you being genetically predisposed to being obese. Like, those aren't valid. There are valid excuses for why you got to where you got to, but they're not valid excuses for why shit can never change. I know several bald guys, short guys, and not so handsome fellas that get absolutely cooked on a daily basis by their friends and girls whenever we go to the clubs. This is something I see in real life, and I'm sure that you guys and girls listening to this can probably agree. And the one thing that sucks about all that shit is they can't actually do much about it. Like, think of it. You can't do much about being bald. You can't do much about being short. You can't do much about not being handsome, right? But there still is a way for you to enjoy your life by doing things. Again, actions, they do the real talking. Actions speak louder than words. By doing things to make you actually feel respected by yourself. Like, instead of trying to hide the fact that you're balding, fucking embrace it. Shave that shit off and learn how to smile with a bald head. Instead of being so worried about being short, fuck that shit. Get strong, get jacked. If you can't get short, or if you can't grow tall, grow wide. Put some muscle on. And if you're not so handsome, you better have some style. You better have some game as a guy. So these are things that, again, you can't even change the whole entire thing because it's like a permanent problem, but you can still sort of earn the right to be positive about your body by doing things and committing actions that allow you to accept yourself and respect yourself. Does that fucking make sense? I know it does for me, so it must make sense to you. And guys and girls, those are people that are stuck with sort of permanent things. Like even people that have some disabilities, they can still learn to love themselves. They can still learn to be positive about their body, regardless of its limitations. But fat people, come on, you literally can change being fat. Like you can actually change that. So why is it that most people just project their, I will say, negative views or their negative intrinsic beliefs on other people when they could just reflect that on themselves and use that as a source of motivation to actually fix the core issue, which you might not only be able to do by yourself. Like you might need a therapist, you might need a doctor or an endocrinologist in your corner to actually help you with your hormones. You might need so much shit. You might need a coach, whatever it is. But it's still possible to change that actual fact that you can go from fat to fit, or at least from fat to less fat, and then to less fat, and then to fit, whatever it takes for you. Okay? If you got yourself in check, this is the truth, guys and girls. If especially if you're obese, if you got yourself in check, nobody would ever call you fat again. And even if they did, because they're a dickhead or they're just an asshole, it wouldn't actually hurt you because that negative intrinsic belief of you being fat will be gone because you're doing the things that are enabling you to accept yourself and truly be happy and more positive about your body by respecting yourself, by going to the gym, by respecting your body, respecting your gut health, by eating clean, and so many other things. When you actually put the actions in every single day, the words don't really even hurt. And that's facts. It only hurts you when you know you're not doing shit about it. And it's true. Or at least you believe it. Look, my point here is this whole quote unquote modern day body positivity PC shit is crap. In my opinion, it's a smokescreen that people are hiding behind to give themselves a false sense of like external security, like that people actually give a fuck about them, like people outside actually care about the way that they think of themselves. Because nobody, like, we're just gonna look at the book by the cover, as I said. It's human fucking nature. Seriously. All right. Seriously. Like, why not do the real work that will help you get the skills to create a permanent internal and external security? Like, why not? That's definitely a tool that you can actually utilize. There's so many tools. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's coaches, there's therapists, there's doctors. The list goes fucking on. Like, you can do that. You can literally create a permanent and internal and external security without forcing others to sympathize for your lack of self responsibility and or self accountability. Again, guys and girls, stop giving up the power to other people with their opinions. All right? Your power lies in your expensive actions, not your cheap words. Motherfuckers, talk is cheap. I'm going to repeat that again. Your power to control your life and change your life lies in your expensive actions, not your cheap words. Because talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words. So, like, now, just to close it off here, my final question to you guys and girls is: are you going to invest in yourself or spend your precious time and energy trying to force admiration, love, false respect, and shade from your known enemies? Because let's think about it. Like, okay, you call them a fat phobe, you say they're fat shaming, and they apologize because they don't want to be looked at as a bigot or have like a whole mob of people chasing them. Is that really respect? Is that really love? Is that really like true acceptance? Is that really something that you really like you want? Is that something you're gonna fight for? Like, is that even worth it? Or is it more worth it to invest in yourself and spend your precious time and energy working on yourself, developing yourself to get rid of those negative intrinsic beliefs instead of forcing admiration from your well-known enemies or dickheads or assholes, however you want to put it? Think about it. Just think about it. That's a question that I want you to answer by yourself. That's it. That's all. If you like this episode, share it out with a friend. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for your precious time and attention. All right. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB PRO Maputale signing out. Boom. Yeah, people. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. What's up? I'm gonna read some of the comments here that I got as I was recording the podcast episode. I'm gonna start off on TikTok here. Hello to Amelia. Robert says, I worked out 1 hour last week and I'm still buff. LOL, JK, I'm fat. I appreciate you for joining, bro. Keep working out. Yeah, see, that's self deprecating humor. You're a real one here. We don't like fucking pansies and softies over here. I'm not going to read some of the questions here on TikTok. It's actually kind of outrageous. Noah, what's good? How you been? How you been, man? I appreciate you for tuning in. Homie says, I look like Justin Bieber. You need glasses. Caden says, what the fuck? What? No, I don't have an account there. I don't know. Let's talk about the modeling industry. I talked about that briefly. If you actually want to check it out, it's on the Meathead on the Mic podcast. That's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Meathead on the Mic podcast, or you can check that out. Caden says, "Who are you talking to?" I'm so confused. Who are you talking to? There's like 3 people in this live, bro. It's not that deep. So if you didn't know, because clearly you don't know because you're new here, and I appreciate you for joining. I actually appreciate you for giving me the time out of your day. This is the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's a live stream slash podcast that I do 4 to 5 times a week, and we talk about health, fitness, mindset, things of that nature. Today was more of like a mindset related topic that sort of tied in with your own perception of yourself with health and fitness. So when you say who are you talking to, I'm talking to pretty much anybody that's going to watch this replay on YouTube. I'm talking to anybody that's going to be listening to this on Apple Podcasts. I'm talking to everybody that's going to listen to this on Spotify and Facebook, of course. I'm streaming on 5 different platforms right now, to say the least. So I'm talking to people in the future from the past and the people that are here live and direct, including you, man. He says, nobody even said anything and this dude's going off. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to. So he says, Kay, where do you talk about the modeling industry? So it'll be in this episode. You can definitely check it out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Again, it's called Meathead on the Mic podcast, or you can check it out on YouTube. Just YouTube me, Matt Butale. Okay, MATT space BUTALE. I don't dive into it completely as guys and girls. I don't follow modeling, and I said that in the episode. I don't really care for it. I'm a professional bodybuilder myself, but you can definitely check that out. I'm talking about body positivity, sort of in that realm of modern day, we'll say modeling, just in a little snippet with the plus size models there. I don't really dive deep into it. So if you're looking for like an in depth modeling fucking perspective, don't actually waste your time. Don't actually waste your time. Ask me a more specific question, Caden, because my opinions vary. We're talking about everything. I can talk about my opinions about everything regarding this topic. I want to watch it. Yeah, so definitely check it out. I'm actually still streaming live on YouTube, so you can just hop in on that live. You'll see it there, Matt Butale on YouTube. And the recording of this episode will be posted up there immediately after I cancel the live stream. I always do that on YouTube. The 100% raw, unedited on YouTube. CC says, Caden, you obviously didn't get what he said. Let's be nice here. At least Caden is like, interacting and, really wants to learn about whatever it is I'm talking about. So I'll appreciate that. But, I won't appreciate or tolerate any disrespect. But Caden hasn't really been disrespectful, in my opinion. Just curious. Well, what are your opinions? Do you think anyone can model? No, not everybody can model because not everybody is beautiful. And I'm going to be honest with you. Not everybody is jacked. So not everybody can be a bodybuilder. Not everybody is rich. So not everybody can be a billionaire. Like not everybody is even born with the same conditions, right? Like there's some people, and my heart goes out to them, but that are disabled, right? And they can't even play sports that able-bodied people would be able to play. So anyone can't be everything. Some people can be some things, and a very small amount of people can be close to everything. But nobody can be everything, and not anyone can be everything, right? Do you think it's a genetic lottery? To some extent, absolutely, right? But then there are those people that hit the fucking genetic lottery, but they're born in a shitty country, so they'll never have the opportunity to actually flex their genetic lottery because they don't have the connections to their network because they're born in a country full of war or whatever it is, right? So so many variables. But to answer that in the easiest way, bro, is yeah, I think it's a genetic lottery, but it also has to be the lottery of like your life as well, where you're born, or at least what you have access to. Make sense? So I'm gonna read some of the comments here on Instagram now. Let's see this. What's up? Zach, what's good? Whoa, Tyson, what's up? Mindy, thank you for joining. Coach Caleb, one of my mentors, joined. I appreciate you, dog. Zach says, swear everything isn't. So I'm gonna read this properly. I almost fucking bit my tongue. Swear everything is an inclusion. just to not get canceled or to not fall off. Even brands like Gymshark promotes overweight now. And it's weird because Gymshark is actually, you know, it's fucking Gymshark. Like it's in the name. They represent health and fitness, or at least you'd assume that, given that they're promoting mostly for their entire existence have been promoting health and fitness through their gym wear, right? Um, but the way that I see it is like it's just the most PC thing to do. It's sort of like how in June every company goes LGBT and they always put their like rainbow flags up and shit. The next month they take it off. Whatever is gonna increase the sales is what they're gonna do, in my opinion. So as a business, I don't knock Gymshark. It's one of the smartest fucking things they could do. But if we're talking about integrity, if we're talking about morals, if we're talking about like true belief of values and core ethics, I think they fell off the boat completely with that one. But again, they're a business, and let's be honest here, my opinion, your opinion, anyone else's opinion doesn't fucking matter to them because it doesn't pay them, right? So you could say, "Hey, man, you're a Gymshark. Stop promoting overweight people." And you, we could all say that, right? We can go protest about it, and I promise you, no one will give a flying fuck because that's not going to make them more money. But what's going to make them more money is making more size clothes for more people that can buy the clothes and opening up their market to those people. So that's my opinion on that, Zach. But we knew that already. Let's keep it a stack. Um, Chad, Benji, I appreciate you. Emilio, thanks for joining. Steve, Zach says, never thought of it like that, but it's true as fuck. Absolutely, bro. It is, bro. Unfortunately, Sean, what's good? Mr. Denver Fit, thanks for joining. I see you there. I appreciate y'all. Twitter, TikTok. See you people. All right. So that's it. That's all. I'm actually gonna go run off to the gym and go crush some chest after I drink some water and have a fucking slice of pizza because I can have a slice of pizza. 654 likes on TikTok. I appreciate the fuck out of each and every single one of you. You know what it is. I hope you guys and girls have the best fucking day of your life. You know what time it is. Natural IFBB Pro Maputale signing out. Boom.